is Take Fizzo, aka the Dope Man, and you are listening to two really broke to the bone Twimbos. Why is ya? Why can't I? Bow!
We broke, we ain't got it. Broke, we ain't got it. Don't spend no money, ain't got no clothes, ain't got no cars, ain't got no hoes. We broke.
Yo, this is South Africa's own.
The militia.
You're now listening to Two Broke Twimbos.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You're now listening.
Real son.
What up, it's your boy Phil Chad, aka Fizza, aka Flame Floss, the big boss, baby, aka Sexington Lovu, aka Shamari Tengero Dringi.
And it's Danny, that guy in the building, aka Denias, aka the only guy, aka your girlfriend pities me, aka Dan Moore, or rather, when you look at my body weight, more like Dan Less. You're listening to Two Broke Twimbos. We got a brand new interview for you this week. Now, this one was real.
Really real, man. Wear bulletproof vests. I got the guard dogs out. I got my Nerf gun, that super soaker. We're prepared, man. There's gonna be heat in the studio, bruh.
I had 2 cans of Coke. I was ready to clean the blood off the walls simply because we had 2 representatives from 2 rival groups. We had reps from Few Kings and reps from MMT in the studio. It was one of those days.
We were expecting fireworks. We were expecting punches. We were expecting chokeholds, suplexes, bruh.
DDTs in the studio on the mic. This is what Two Broke Twimbos does. So you guys, are you ready for this interview?
Yes. Consider us like the Vince McMahons of the Zimbabwean podcast sphere.
Now, can we have the wrestling ladies come into the room, please? Yep, they're here now. All right, this is Two Broke Twimbos. Remember, it's a podcast where 2 gentlemen with wallets that are thinner than Lindsay Lohan after her rehab program somehow managing to get Lindsay Lohan herself into the studio.
Yes.
But in this case, like, not really Lindsay Lohan.
Or to put it in terms the Zimbabwean audience can understand, our wallets are thinner than Dan's biceps.
This is the podcast.
We broke.
Welcome back to another episode of Two Broke Twimbos, the show where 2 financially challenged individuals talk about nothing with famous people.
Did you also mention that they have absolutely no influence whatsoever in any circles except online?
No.
That is also true.
Okay. We got Zion in the building. We got MMT in the building. Yes, people, that's right. We have brought together 2 rival factions of Zimbabwean hip hop.
May as well call us Gandhi.
Martin Luther Kings of Zimbabwean hip hop. I have a dream. No, that was Nelson Mandela, wasn't it? Yeah. Didn't come off right. Anyway, back to the interview. Amara's still in the studio from our last episode.
Hey.
I was
Okay,
told
fine.
to come back in here.
Dan, you chained her to the desk. How'd you want her to leave?
She said she loves me.
Dumbass. Anyway, Amara.
Okay, I have to go pay my electricity bill. I'll be right back.
All right.
Which
You go
means
do
never.
that sticky keyboard.
Amara, before you left, you're telling us about the Save Ashley campaign that you're working on. Why don't you tell us something about that?
Well, actually, it's Save Ashley was something that came to us about 3 weeks back. The last time we saved Natasha, it's a celebrities combined drive, basically. Some of these parents have very, very, sad circumstances when it comes to their children, all kinds of illnesses. The last little girl that we had, Natasha, needed a bone marrow transplant. And this one in particular, Ashley, she had a ventricular septal defect, which is actually a hole in her heart. And we just basically had a week to raise about $5,000. And prior to that, we had about $100,000 that we needed to do for Natasha. So the family approached us, explaining the entire situation and the urgency of this particular little girl. And thank God we actually managed to raise the money, and I have to thank Makosi, who was all the way in Nigeria. While I was trying to get all this money together, we were about 1,000 in, and she literally just messaged me and she's like, Amara, how much more do you need? And I said, we need $4,000. And she said, okay, well, that's my Christmas gift. I am giving $4,000 to help save Ashley. So really, really thank you to Makosi, and thank you to every Zimbabwean who actually donated donated. We had donations just from every corner of the country coming in. Really, really much appreciated, and it was very dope. Little Ashley is so sweet, but she's in India right now, and she's about to go into surgery, so we wait.
Oh, thanks a lot.
That's that.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's something that we skipped over in our initial.
We need 2 hours.
Yeah,
That's what
there's
we
so
need.
much to talk about. Like I actually forgot about the fact that you're on Zeus's new album.
Oh.
And I wanted to find out like how the heck that happened.
Oh gosh. Well, I met Zeus very many years ago when I was still staying in Joburg, and we always said we'd do a track together, and then we just never did. And one of his producers by the name of Don Juan contacted me on some, "Hey, yo, Amara, I got this track on Zeus's new album, and I know you'd kill it." And that was pretty much it. But I was here. I wasn't going to Joburg anytime soon, so I landed up just going over to Yagi Dojos, and basically working through the night to get this thing out because we had a hell of a deadline. And that's how it came about. And the label and Zeus, everybody loved it so much. They were like, "This is gonna be the 3rd single of the album." And I was like, "What?" It just came out really great. So I'm very, very proud of Zeus. You know, he just won Channel O's award for Most Gifted Male Video. It was really, really dope to watch that and even be a part of this album. Honor.
Ah, dope. That's a good look. So
yeah.
thanks a lot, Amara. I think now we can finally unchain you from the desk and
All
release
right
you.
then. Yo, thank you. Thank you. You kinky, crazy fools.
No, Dan, please don't, please. I'm innocent of all that.
Sure, we'll go with that.
I've got pending cases. I don't need any more.
Thanks, Jen.
Alright, as we highlighted earlier, we've got Zion in the building. Zion, what up?
What up, yo? My name is Take Fizzo, aka the Dope Man. What's good?
That's good, Take. And who you with, Take?
I'm with my manager King Ngugi and my cousin from MMT Tatea. What's good, fam?
Yeah, I see you.
You alright?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I see you.
yeah. It's a family thing, you know.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us, y'all. You know.
No, it's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure. So, Fizzo, let's start with you.
Yeah. What up?
You just gave me some dope.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the definition of pure energy. That's my mixtape. It's dropping on Monday, the 9th of December, 2013. Yeah. Produced, written, recorded, mixed, performed, mastered by me.
You know Zimbabwe got like a 95% unemployment rate.
I know, hey. I just
you're
made it
taking all
like
the jobs.
99. Yeah, well, you know, yeah. Well, I guess with this project, I was just like, the feeling and fair is done. I've already submitted my beats for Perfect 10 and for the Morning Glory, and I was like, wow, it's like 1 more month, like 2 more months left in this year. I'm not just gonna sit. So I just got into the studio and locked myself up for like 30 days, and 12 tracks later, it's done. You know. That's me right now.
Dope.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I think it was like a month ago.
Yeah.
We were having a meeting over at my other job at the African Hip Hop blog.
Yeah.
And we were wondering, like, when did Take Fizzo stop rapping? Because we realized it's been a minute since we heard some Take Fizzo bars. Then out of nowhere, you dropped that Jockey Rider joint.
Yeah.
Then you dropped a certain freestyle.
Yeah.
Might have been aimed at someone in this room. I don't know.
Nah, not even.
Possibly.
I don't see those people here.
Lights out.
Yeah, man. Like I said, man, I was bored. I was sitting there in the studio with my brothers in rhymes and beats went there. So I was like, yo, I need to get into the studio. B-Son, he just released a Lights Out record, like a freestyle or whatever it is, and I listened to it. I was like, hey, that's dope, and I got challenged. I was like, nah, I rap too, you know. People don't know that, but I like to try it out again, you know. So I got into the studio, and you know, like contrary to popular belief, Lights Out was not directed at MMT. They're not boys. You know what I mean? Shout out to MMT. Yeah, so from then on, you know, people in the studio like, yo, Fizzo, man, you got it, rap, you know, do some more, you know. And yeah, I just got back into the studio and I just kept on writing and just recording and writing and recording, and you know, dope is done. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that is dope.
Yeah.
No pun. So, another guest we have here is a rapper, TV presenter,
Yep.
recent, what can we say, video star,
Cameo King.
Cameo King. Yeah, that's a good title, right? That's a good title.
All of the above.
Tatea Da MC.
Tatea Da MC, Stage Town King in the building. What's up, everybody? What's happening?
So how you doing, bruh?
Hey, I'm coasting. You know, when you're on a skateboard and it's just flowing. Yeah, that's the situation I'm in right now. You know, I'm gonna kick later, but you know, coasting.
All right.
Yes,
Hot off that MMT LP release?
Oh yeah, still bumping in. I play that stuff myself too. I'm getting it off my own supply. That's that dope. Pun intended.
So I think, the first question I'd have is, being the broke individual I am, I'm from Mutare.
Yeah. How can
But
you
yo,
be
hold
broke
up,
from
hold up.
Mutare,
How
though?
can you be broke and you're from Mutare?
Yeah,
That's a
like-
fallacy. People think that people in Mutare have money. There is no money in Mutare. All that quote-unquote diamond money is coming straight to H. It's going straight to China. Nothing is coming to Mutare. Believe me.
I need a few of those diamonds in my Jesus piece, though. You know, it'd be a good look.
I'm not the
Smarange.
person to ask. Believe me. I'll sell you some glass on the low.
Yes, sir.
Alright, bruh. So, as I was saying, I'm from Mutare. Where do I get the album?
We're still working on a distribution platform. It's a sole independent hustle, you know what I mean? So we got people out there that are waiting, anticipating for the album. We got people out in the skies, Kwekwe, Rusape, and everywhere else, you know. But right now we're solely focusing on H-Town because, you know, this is our home base. This is where we come from and this is where we rep. So we didn't see a product going that far initially, you know. It's like, you know, we just got into the studio, came up with what we did, and we just, this is the momentum just got crazy, you know. So as we're speaking, we got a couple of things in place. So, you know, space is officially open for watching.
Alright.
So we're just gonna be posting in Facebook, Twitter, and everything. People will definitely know as soon as it's out there.
Alright.
Yeah.
I think my other question would be is, why haven't you made it available online, even if it's just streaming?
We really wanted to be strict with this. It's a little thing called new rules. I think Jig is trying to do that in the States, and we thought, we could do that too. You know, a lot of the music that we've done before and a lot of music that's still being done is being put out there for free. So we're like, let's do something called by Zim Hip Hop. It was also hype for our album as well. So, you know, you getting to get the actual copy is just like right now only a privileged few have it. So it kind of adds value to the overall product of it. And what we're trying to do is basically get everyone that's out there doing something that's grinding to get something back off it, apart from just the performances and everything that they're going to do eventually. Let's add value to our music. You know, it starts from us. I mean, I'm with the Bluetooth game and all that. I'm trying to get publicity too, but, you know, let us get paid, you know.
All right.
Yes,
If I'm, let's say, a gentleman on the street,
Uh-huh.
I want to get the album, but I'm in Bulawayo or Mutare, Marondera, Mashingo, Plumtree, wherever it may be, and you saying you're applying the new
Chirumanzu.
rule. Yeah, shout out to Chirumanzu.
Yes, sir.
And you're saying that the album is only a physical release, not available online, and it is limited distribution. Isn't that more of an old rule than a new rule?
This is the thing, though. It's like right now we are at a phase where we're learning how things go. We're trying to get control. We're trying to get ownership of whatever the systems that have been there in place already. So, like I'm saying, like a lot of the urban artists that are coming up right now are learning, and we're trying to be bosses. We're trying to be CEOs. We're trying to have distribution companies too. You know what I mean? We just can't wait on these old people to control what we have and have ownership of our stuff. So we're slowly getting there, and we're working on distribution. Like I said, there's people out there already willing to put that in their stores. So, you know, it's getting there. Then online as well, it's definitely on the come up. We just been, you know, being stingy, basically. Yeah.
So far, what's the response been?
Yo, it's been wild, man. I mean, when Tatea Da MMT are just like the core MMT fans. I mean, there are a lot of people were skeptic about our project to begin with, you know. So we put a lot of effort into it, a lot of heart went into it, and the concepts that are in there is also quite crazy, you know. So people that have been vibing to it have just been like, yo, from from the intro, Wake Up, they've heard that, you know, down to the last track, which is Funeral. It's just, yo, Amana, this is what you can do. You didn't know. So I think it's a good look for people that don't have it as well. For something, it's something they can anticipate to have ownership of. You know, buy Zim Hip Hop. You know, the fans out there should be proud to pay, aren't you?
Yep. All right. I think the first thing let's touch on is the first track, Wake Up.
Yes.
That caused a stir.
Yeah.
Quite a big one.
Yeah.
What is the ideology behind that track, and why were so many shots thrown?
I wouldn't say shots exactly. It's just one of those, you know, we got into the studio, this beat was dope, and it was, well, dope. Yeah, then it's just, we just started throwing bars, you know, and it was like, yo, this is something we hadn't actually, was our first time actually gelling in the studio as MMT, because, you know, like before, we've been separate entities. It's just been Tatea Da MC, MC Cut, and Mariachi. So, you know, we just started dropping bars. Then, you know, it's also at the same time, we're trying to get everybody to wake up. This is what's going on. Zim Hip Hop is here. Yep. And how can you do that? You got to get people's attention. It's like a news headline. It's like, you know, somebody dies, Mandela dies, and he could be alive. You know what I mean? Or, you know, so this is, a lot of people got it misconstrued. It was like, yo, these guys are trying to start beef, or it's this on this and that. But if you were not mentioned in that track, though, I mean, you lack a certain relevance in Zim Hip Hop, you know what I mean, in terms of industry people. So it's also a good look, too. I mean, some people in there just got instant fame just off that Wake Up. It's like, well, you and Dogator on the MMT guy, you know what I mean? So I think a lot of credit is due.
Right.
Yeah, man.
So what do you say to people that have an issue with the style that you've taken with Wake Up? There have been recent incidences on social media regarding some of the MMT members throwing shots here and there at people in Zim Hip Hop. Why don't you set the record straight? What is your guys' position regarding the beefs, who you are beefing with, and how you handle people you have issue with within the industry?
I'd say MMT is just it's just us doing us, you know what I mean? People have their perceptions of who we are or what we do, but then we let our music speak for itself. You know, we're not about dissing people. It's not entirely about the diss tracks. That's why we put out an album, you know. It's, yo, take it however you want it, but it is what it is. Those are, you know, Tish Mataz type thing. And in terms of people saying they've been dissed, yo, you know, a person can be dissed. Trust me, you know, you don't need to go subliminal about it. So let's not catch feelings. You know what I mean?
Alright, dope. The King. What's up, bro?
What up, man?
You good?
I'm great.
Alright, so tell us, what do you think about the state of Zim Hip Hop right now?
It's growing. It's growing at a very interesting pace. Like, the pace has actually picked up, like in the past 6 months or so, you know, and that's mainly because more people are paying attention. There's more talk about us. You see, like what Tatea was just saying, you know, when he mentions someone on a song, that's talk. And, you know, music, especially hip hop, really relies on people talking. You know, people have to be talking about you to make you relevant. So that you are relevant, you have to be spoken about. You know, it doesn't matter, you know, what kind of hip hop you're doing. As long as the people are talking and you present it properly, you're gonna have a fantastic time doing hip hop, especially in Zim. Yeah.
Right. The whole Buy Zim Hip Hop movement. Like, how do you feel Zim Hip Hop stands against Isungura right now, Urban Grooves, Zim Dancehall? Do you think we'll be able to match those sales and that revenue stream that those other genres have created?
It's very possible. As I said, because Zim Hip Hop is growing and there's a very big generational shift that's going on. You know, like, for example, you could find a bunch of men in their late 30s playing PlayStation, which is something you wouldn't find 4 years ago. No, not 4 years ago, say 10 years ago. You know, you wouldn't find men around 30 doing that, right? Bring it back to the music, it's the same thing. Most of our parents used to listen to Sungura and all those things and Afro jazz and whatnot. They still do. But once again, as Tate mentioned, the old folk are gonna, they're gonna dwindle out. Not in a bad way. We don't mean they should all die or anything, but I mean, their numbers are dwindling. The Sungura crowd will still be strong, but it won't be as strong. In fact, the hip hop crowd will be quite huge because there's a lot of youngsters out there who are really listening to the music. I get emails all the time. I get emails and calls all the time from youngsters saying, "Oh, I want to start a career in music. I want to do hip hop. I want to do hip hop. I want to do hip hop. I want to do hip hop." I'm like, hip hop is not easy. People think it's easy, but it's not, because you're fighting against a lot of things. First thing you're gonna fight against is people telling you that you whack before they even hear you. You know what I mean? Then you have to prove yourself. Then work on your, and it's a really long process. But I'm very glad to say that a lot of hip hop artists, especially in Zimbabwe, are maturing. They're now taking their craft seriously, and that's what's gonna make us bigger than a lot of genres. I mean, dancehall has done a very, very good job. I will not lie. Dancehall has done a good job, although a lot of it still sounds the same. A lot of them still just sound the same. There's not much diversity in it, but it's dope. It's really, really crazy. Like they're taking the Jamaican culture to a new level. I had the opportunity to hang out with BB Cool and Divine when they came over, and they said Zimbabwe is a little Jamaica. That's what they said, because they saw what Winky D did, they saw what Gatsby did, they saw what, who was the other guy who performed there?
King Shadi.
King Shadi. They saw what those guys did at the beer fest, and they're like, yeah, that's crazy. But while they were doing that, I was passing them the Few King CD, and then they listened to that, and they're like, oh man,
just like that.
So your hip hop is as dope as well? Is this crazy as well? And I'm like, yeah. It's just that the crowd isn't as huge yet. But that's where we're going. I mean, dancehall and hip hop are very interlinked. Very, very interlinked. So, I mean, as dancehall grows, so is hip hop. But hip hop will be the next biggest thing.
All right.
Yeah, that's how I see it.
You touched on a very good point there, that Zimbabwean dancehall sounds the same, and it's pretty much a carbon copy of Jamaican dancehall.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a good or bad thing, and how do you feel to people that say Zimbabwean hip-hop is just a carbon copy of American hip-hop?
People who say Zim Hip Hop is a carbon copy are listening to the wrong hip-hop. They're listening to the wrong hip-hop. That's not... If you think it's a carbon copy, then you're listening to boys. Because boys do the carbon copy thing. You get what I'm saying?
Boys copy.
Boys copy.
And paste.
If you listen to Fizzo, Few Kings, MMT, Simba Tags, Yagi Dojo,
The Dutch.
Capital K.
Capital K.
There's a certain level of, I'm sure there's those obnoxious people who say, but rapping is carbon copy. Fine, yeah, the culture, rapping. Yeah, they're rapping. That's what you might say they're copying. But really, when you listen to the bars, they got nothing to do with that American kind of lifestyle. They've got nothing to do with that egocentric, type of, we're keeping it real.
Yeah, because,
real as possible.
We're out here telling our story, you know what I mean? Like, if you listen to MMT, Few Kings, Simba Tags, that Dutch, Capital K, and everybody, you realize that these are brethren who are telling a Zimbabwean story, you know what I mean? That's what hip-hop is. It's about telling the story from where you're from, you know what I mean? Like, for example, everyone out here wants to be a black American. Because why? All these people out there, they're out there selling their lifestyle, selling their story to us, to the point where we all want to be like them. We all want to sag our pants. We all want to have these crazy, ridiculously expensive change, want to drive these crazy cars because they sold us their life. But if you look at us right now, Zim Hip Hop, we out here, we telling you what we do, you know what I mean? We out here with two broke Twimbos, my nigga. You know what I mean? This is what we are. And it's real, you know what I mean? I'm broke, shit.
Yeah. I'm back. I couldn't pay.
No doubt. Like, I'm not like as paid as I wanna be, you know what I mean? But you'll hear it in my bars, you hear it in everyone else's bars that this is our story, you know what I mean? We don't go out to the fucking beach out here. You know what I mean? We go out to the club. Maker, Blue. What up? What up? Hey, that's if you know someone also.
And,
you know, but I mean, that's what it is. You know, we tell our own story. So whoever thinks we're copying should go listen to Sungura, because I don't think you're good enough for hip hop.
No, but if I can build on what Fizzo has just been saying, I mean, look, we all learn from somewhere. You know what I mean? And hip hop has relatively just been American music. You know, it's like I give you reggae, for instance. These guys used to take country songs and put them on a reggae beat, and then eventually just kind of switched it up. Got it with my coconuts, or chilling under the tree, or Three Little Birds, or something. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? It's just people that have that opinion about us haven't actually given us a chance. Once you listen to the content, it's like, oh, yeah,
that's kind of dope, right?
You know?
Zim Dancehall, when you bring it back to Zim Dancehall is all about addressing issues. There's no hit song in dancehall that does not address an issue. You get? Think about it. You're addressing an issue. Girls need to be
twerking for us like that.
I dance it on the two. I say on the 4-4. You know? He's addressing that issue. All of Winky D's songs, he's addressing an issue. He's getting a lot of flack from that, but that's and that's the Zim dancehall culture. People like that. In Sungura, it's that whole
just 16 minutes of guitars or something, just crying.
I don't know what you're doing now.
Life ain't too good for you.
You need to do the research with the Sungura. It started somewhere. You know what I think? It's here now, but it started somewhere.
What I think Sungura is like a jacked up version of, like a low budget version of Rumba. You know what I mean? Because niggas out here couldn't make that proper Rumba stuff. Then they started making their own guns.
Do you know what the word Sungura means in Swahili? It means rabbit. What does a rabbit do? A rabbit runs really, really fast. That music, that's where the name came from. It's some really fast music spread from, the central, eastern, downwards. And that's how we ended up having Sungura. It came down. It was just fast. It was like the African version of of garage or rave or something like that. Yeah, rave.
A low budget version of Rumba, guys.
But is about to have me beat up by some Timbuktu fans in the street.
No, we're not hating. We're just stating.
It is, guys.
We're just stating. We're not hating. We're stating. I mean, Sulu's an amazing artist.
Shout out.
Sulu is an amazing. We had a chance to have him in studio a couple of months ago, and yeah, he's a really dope cat. He's dope.
Dope. Back to Fizzo.
What up?
Let's talk about this dope.
Yeah.
Tell us about the project, man. Who's on it? What can we expect?
Wow, the dope project. We got Miss Amara Brown. Whoop 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 whoop. My manager King Ngugi also features. In case you didn't know, he raps too. Better than most y'all. Yeah. But who else? We got Smiley, legendary sound.
Jeezy.
We got Jeezy. We got Alcanemo. And Shaza. Then that's it. I did it like that because I didn't want too many features, because I wanted to come out as like a fully fledged rapper. You know what I mean? Not like rely, because it's Take Fizzo. Take Fizzo can even get Tuku in the studio for his mixtape or whatever, and I didn't want that. I wanted to be judged purely on my skill only. So like most of the features, the tracks which were recorded before, which were initially supposed to be for the Feeling Ain't Fair. So I'll say right now, the dope mixtape is a mixtape with reject beats from the Feeling Ain't Fair.
Excellent marketing strategy. Download my mixtape. It's the crap we didn't like.
Yeah.
The Feeling Ain't Fair.
So like that's it. Not too many features. I'm kicking strong 16s, strong 12s, and the hooks are crazy. Production is ill. I think I'll come out on a limb and say the dope mixtape has got the best production for a mixtape out so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you heard the Pungwe sessions? That's coming out soon.
I haven't heard that yet. But
look out for that. It's gonna be hot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I heard. I know the guy. I've heard about him. It's gonna be pretty hot.
Yeah, man. Zim Hip Hop to the world, my nigga.
That's dope. That's dope.
No doubt.
So, any planned videos for this project?
There's a song I did it's basically for a friend of mine. His name is Warblade, if you know him from back in the day, Marshall Chimeza. He's the guy who got me to start rapping back in high school, Form 3, right? And we were together on The Future. We did Shake What Your Mama Gave Ya. And we were together on Roy and Royce's Andireke. Me and him, we did the rap verses there. He passed away like 3 years ago. So I did a track. It's on the mixtape. It's called I Wish. I'm probably going to do a video for that. You know what I mean? Because I think it's closest to my heart. All the other songs are dope. They actually mean something to my life. But this song is so important to me because, you know, if it wasn't for him and, you know, all those, yeah, man, those bars are dope. Yeah, man, I like your flow. Yeah, man, let's go. Yeah, man, I wouldn't be where I am right now. So I guess that'll be the video. You need to watch out for the I Wish video. And I'm going to come out on a limb again and say Ruffy's the one's going to direct the video.
Rough cut.
Rough cuts, what up?
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
Speaking of videos, let's switch it back to Tatea.
Yes, please.
That Chidori remix video has got a lot of mixed reviews.
Yeah, man.
What is your take on that?
I like it. Reason why it cleaned out MMT's image. You know what I mean? It's like when people heard MMT Wake Up came out, it was like, yo, my face, I'm better than this with you. I mean, then when Zvidhori came out, people didn't actually understand the concept of it. It's like, yo, the whole issue with us dissing women. You know what I mean? So we had women there. But we decided to, you know, just kind of cut them out, focus on the guys that were actually on the track, you know what I mean? So that disappointed a lot of the cats out there, you know, the skeptics. I got my face, I those who never Zvidhori, but I'm going to move, going to bora, going to dami, you know what I mean? Yeah, so, you know, a lot of people like it, but a lot of the rappers, well, you know, rappers are always expecting certain things, and these are most of the cats that don't do nothing, that are just, you know, just that on Facebook or whatever, on just Twitter, go MMT, as they say, what you got breakfast, they didn't see, as they say, you know what I mean? So, you know, it's been good. I mean, the people, we took it out to people that don't normally listen to hip hop or watch hip hop videos, and they're like, yo, this is all right. You know, so this is cool. We got something out there. And, you know, it takes a lot to do a video as well. It's just a whole lot of headaches. You know, you don't sleep. Usually when I do videos, I like wake up with a pimple on my face because, you know, I'm stressed out and everything. So actually just managing to get a product out with Amana, done video, it's just, yo, we've done something, you know, so I'd salute my team on that too. So shout out to everybody that came through. Yana Smiley, Simba Tags, Alvina, you know, looking dope. Right, don't go representing the Chidoris of it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Can I ask a question? What is a Chidori?
Chidori, guys, your typical beer goggles story, you know what I mean? Yeah, sums it up. Boys, no drinks, guys. Yeah, you out there, you get to a spot, you just feeling no fresh, you just only had 1 or 2, then, you know, 3, 4 kick in.
Oh, when you get there,
I got different sky, man. You spot this girl, you're like, you know, let me get the scarful out of him on the corner here, you know what I mean? You know, drink a little bit more, things start to change. I look fresher, you know what I mean? I also go pizza around, go high like I go, yo, what did I say? And Chidori, typically, I mean, Chidori's like, it's a perfect 10. Gonna got it all plastic, all made up and everything. She 100%. So, gonna also, yeah, man, also not teddy bears, dog. A Barbie type, you know what I mean? So, it also, it comes in 2 ways. I mean, girls out here, what was the ones on to get up? And they gonna makeup, cake up. So we also talking about that, like, look, ease up, you know what I mean? You know, you don't have to go extra hard, you know what I mean? So I mean, some of us find it unattractive. Well, so my eyelashes up to there, I mean, you can high five a dude, you know what I mean? Like, just too much blush, too much lipstick going on. She Nicki Minaj type look, guys. You know, that will tone her down a little bit in real life, you know what I mean? I like my women's all natural, you know what I mean? Let it complement the looks, let it not, you know, mess things up. So that's what we were trying to say. But, you know, people have their takes on whatever comes out, you know. So
you heard it here first on the Two Broke Twimbos. Chidori was actually a song about positive reinforcement of the female figure.
Bow,
So
bow.
ladies, according to Tatea Da MC, lay off the makeup, lay off the plastic. You are beautiful just the way you are.
Talk that Magadaro. Yes, sir.
Switching it back to beautiful ladies and videos, that Cameo,
Yes.
that Blackbird video. Yeah, it caused quite a stir, bro.
Oh yeah, I know. Yo, it's crazy because it got to a point where my social life was in the Financial Gazette. Like, you know what I mean? That's what Ewa is about, you know. But yeah, that was directed by Andy Cutter. Actually, that was shot and edited by Andy Cutter. Blackbird directed that video. She scripted it and everything, locations down to the T. You know, so shout out to her for that dope song as well. I love the sample of that song. You know, that's one of my
joint is
favorite
big.
Bob Marley tracks. You know what I mean? So, you know, it was dope working with her because you know, she's been in the game for a minute. I think she's like the only female MC with an album out, or one of the first out of Zim. You know, so it was a really interesting experience. Plus, also, you know, I'm trying to, because of television and everything, I'm trying to dabble into acting a little bit. She got young Munyachidonga type vibe, you know. So, you know, I think I played the part. You know, got people to believe it's, and you know, whatever blossomed.
So yeah, tell us, was your acting that good, or was it some going on backstage?
Yo, it's chemistry, you know what I mean? Okay. It's a vibe, right? You know? You know, when you know, you it's like when you're making a track, you know, you gotta have that vibe. You know, so that's me and Blackbird. You got video guy, you know what I mean? So, that's exactly what we wanted, though, you know. And John Arukumbo, just, you know, just you know. So regarding myself and Blackbird, no comment.
Strictly professional.
Yes, it was an amazing experience working with Blackbird.
Professional, that's a comment one. Say no comment, right?
So there's a comment on the no comment.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
Let's keep it at that.
Back to Fizzo. Fizzo, you've been around for a while, bruh. You worked with a
I've been around like Independence. What up?
Yeah. You basically were around at the birth of the urban groove scene.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned Roy and Royce.
Yeah.
Chamembe.
Yeah.
Tell us about your beginnings in the game. Tell us some interesting stories.
Well, for everyone to know, I'm a high school dropout. I didn't even go to college. Because I met Delani when I was in Form 4 and I stopped concentrating on school. So shout out to you, Step Aside. You're the man.
Education.
Yeah, man. I was just like, you know, your ordinary kid off the street, you know. Just could play basketball. Not even. I'm too naughty to be that. And yeah, I was just your average kid on the street. You know, and started messing around with the beats and met up with Delani. And I can tell you, for me to produce, I think I spent a good 1.5 years behind Delani, just watching him, not asking questions, just watching him. If he presses, clicks on that, oh, this is what happens and stuff. And that's how I learned. And, you know, got into the studio initially as a rapper, but I got hooked onto the whole creative nature of production, you know what I mean? It's one thing just writing like 16 dope lyrics with crazy wordplay, and the story is so vivid that if you hear it, you can see it in your head and everything. But actually just from silence to banging beats, banging tunes, that's what hooked me. So, and I got hooked to that and I started producing, stopped rapping, and that's when we came up with Chamembe. Now check this out, right? At that time, we would have a party for 3 months because a radio station got us in here, and we've been spending 36 minutes talking crap. You know what I mean? Whatever we feel like talking about. Back then, it was crazy. They'll come in and say, okay, young man, when did you start singing?
When I was in high school. I think.
Okay. Is this your first album?
It's my 4th album. It's just that the other 3 before this one never got released.
Okay. Any advice to the youngsters out there?
I think just keep pushing. It's tough out there.
And that's how it was back then, you know what I mean? And it was really bad. But now, you know, it's amazing. It is amazing.
I just got to compliment you guys on that impromptu performance. That's, you know what I mean? You guys deserve an Emmy or an Oscar or something.
I think that's that dope player. That's that mixtape. Is that not a skit on tape?
That dope. Yeah. So yeah, you know, from a time where in Zimbabwe they only like it's either you did gospel or you did sungura or mbira. You know what I mean? Obviously there were the gifted few like the late Andy Brown who had his own sound and he came out. But if you were in sungura or gospel or mbira, radio would really not give two shits about you. You know what I mean? And yeah, and everywhere else, you know, we would perform. You wouldn't perform anyway. You know, we'll be out there, 22-year-olds waiting for the next Miss Harare Junior, you know what I mean? to get a place to perform because there's nowhere to perform, you know. And yeah, and we regardless of all those hardships and obstacles, we just like, yo man, let's just try. Like what Tatea said, like we were just in the studio, you know what I mean? We just cooling out, we made a record and we vibing. Little did we know that it's gonna blow. You know what I mean? Like for example, Chamembe, we were just recording songs. Until one day someone, I think my sister came in, it's like, can't you just put all these songs onto one CD and we'll take it to this guy and if they like it we'll go. And from then on it just blew up. Radio, I don't know what happened. Thanks to Jonathan Moyo, yeah, because he's like 75% local. We got a chance. And it's back.
You better salute Jonathan Moyo.
You know what I mean? And this time we got the whole team in here, so you know it's gonna be real. So yeah.
Quality controls.
Yeah. It is not been because I'm still going. It is an amazing journey where you can look back at like probably 10 years, 12, 15 years and say, whoa, I used to record with a camcorder. You know what I mean? And now I'm G'd up. I've got world-class equipment and everything. And I'm good, you know? And things is looking really dope. So thank God I dropped out of school.
Kanye.
What's your craziest story from the studio? What one story at Zion? Because Zion's a crazy ass place.
Yeah.
What is the one time you were in Zion and you're like, man, this was crazy?
Oh shit. Alright, so check it out, right? Shout out to Fire from England. Why I say Empress. Okay, so it was me, Junior Brown, this lady called Fire, and this other lady I forgot. So we're cooling. We're recording something, right? So I was with Breezy in the studio. And we were recording. He laces this dope verse. I forgot what verse it was. It was like, whoa, this is dope, right? As soon as he finished and I pressed space bar to stop it, some chick in the kitchen is like, fire! Right? Fire's in the other room, the lady. Fire's like, yo, wagwan. Breezy is like, I laced that dope verse. He's like, yeah, po. And she's like, no, there's a fire in here. I swear, you should have seen the stove, right? The grill. We're grilling some chicken, so it just caught on fire, and we had to get sand. We went out, and, like dishes of sand.
That was so much chicken gone to waste.
Yeah, that was a lot of chicken.
That was so much chicken gone to waste.
You see where these men's priorities lie. The house nearly burnt down, but they worried about the chicken.
Dude, now we are 4 broke Twimbos out here.
Broke and hungry.
Yeah, my nigga. Yeah.
Tatea, back to you.
Yes, sir.
What was that moment, like, when you were listening to hip hop, when you realized, I want to do this?
My influences mostly weren't like hardcore hip hop. You know what I mean? I grew up with an older cousin in the house. He used to listen to a lot of the soul R&B dudes. You know what I mean? A lot of Luther, a lot of Teddy Pendergrass, Keith Sweat, and all that. But I came across New Edition. There was this track called "Hit Me Off."
Hit Me
banging 96, 97, back in those days. So, you know, this guy hit a rhyme, and I'm like, yo, and most of the most of the rap that was out there was because guys would do features on R&B songs. Then you had your Maces at the time, Diddy and them. So I think that's where most of the influence in my wanting to do this came from, which is where I came from, a mixtape scene where I take beats off or other songs and just put my version of it because it was like that was the coolness in it for me. And I think a little bit of Lauryn Hill, or I listened to the Fugees, Bone Thugs, Pac, Biggie was only maybe after high school because I was a loyal West Coast. You know what I mean? So it was like, yo, I'm not even gonna listen to that guy Stumbo Mude. You know what I mean? Bad Boy Staff and the whole record label and the group. I just couldn't go fight it out. You know what I mean? But I think it was mostly from an R&B perspective where I got into this. But then with hip hop, well, for me, it's rap mostly. You know, it's because boys, rangarangori cool, nigga, rangarangori in style. She man's going in my baby. You know, there's a song LSG, Levert, Kenny,
Sweat and Gill.
Yeah, Panane's curious, singing on a buster bus. Yo,
that was deep though.
Tandan is going in my baby. I'm like, but you know, that could be you, guy. What did I say?
Well, a believer.
And you know, I was like, you know it. So I remember back in high school, I also listened to a lot of Andre 3 Stacks, you know. Naenda kuchikoro ka visho kake hira Andre flow. And he says at the end, I go through obstacles like a whole box of condoms. You can't forget where you come from. And back then, I think when I got started auctions on my condoms, so everyone was like, oh, you know what I mean? The whole this noise. Then I think a controversial aspect of who Tatea Da MC is came from there, you know. Then as I grew older, I started listening to more and got a deeper understanding of what hip hop is. And bottom line for me, hip hop is love, it's all love, and that's what I'm trying to do out there, spread love. And, you know, spread hip hop, Zim Hip Hop, actually.
Dope.
Yes, sir.
What is with Zimbabwe and Tupac?
Yeah, well.
Have you noticed, like, almost every Zimbabwean hip hop fan
kakujamuka kai kekusakuda kujairira boys asida kujairira, you know what I mean? Forget these dudes. It's like though vanika ka rebellion in them that they're trying to let out, but you know, because of society or whatever our limitations, we can't exactly put it out there. It's like that's why we have a lot of Facebook bullies out there. You know, guys like a fake account can go to Kawan. Hey, yo, was it a say? Because people just want to vent. So we had people like that, and Tupac, put on our behalf. I'm facing here. I tell you what I do. You know what I mean? So Hit 'Em Up is a strong song. I was talking about you a biggie, gonna Faith Evans, gonna mom's a biggie, but popota you waver.
But I fucked your wife.
You know what I mean? I shot this, you know. So I think that's why people related a lot to Tupac. He reminds you boys, right? So West Coast, right? Floss are too much, and kunoga my broke dudes. I got Twimbos.
Hit me up on the DM.
This is a platinum rollie.
Don't put my guns on the TL.
You know,
DM.
That's my opinion.
Tupac or Biggie?
Straight Tupac. Yeah.
West Side.
Don't even ask me. I'm Biggie all the way, my niggas. Yo, have you ever heard 10 Crack Commandments? Tell me, is there any knowledge
5, 6,
ever
7, 8, 9.
spit it on a track like that? Come on now. Y'all people just look at Biggie and say, yeah, Biggie is just commercial. But you know, Biggie was G.
Never get high.
Biggie was dope.
Biggie used to sell drugs, you know what I mean, before the deal.
Biggie was definitely
Streets.
dope, but
just as streets as your Pac guy.
Like Tupac was more into the art form, although it wasn't that good rap-wise.
He couldn't flow.
He was into the art form, and he was into
Tupac will be screaming on a beat.
I'm about message.
Rebellion.
And the beat's going kum. Abba Big is like, when the rhyme is in a system, no telling what I go for the system. That's what I
just ran in my bed.
Okay. What about Zim Hip Hop?
Zim Hip Hop?
Baddest rapper of all time.
Kingpin is overrated. He only had 2 tunes.
Yeah, kind of crazy.
You know, I just had to say that.
It's so controversial, though.
It's
so controversial. I said this.
If that had been said by MMT, though.
True. Now, when this podcast is, Ngugi better block his account. Out of here, raw.
No, look, I didn't say he was whack. I just said he's overrated. Just because he's dead, it doesn't mean that, you know.
But that I Salute You joint was bad, though.
You know. But then if we pitch it against the new MMT song,
get chowed.
All right,
Exactly.
Let's keep
so
it.
why
Let's
we still rating
if
the
we go
old?
apples for
Let's
apples,
put him
right?
where he's
Kingpin was
supposed to be.
conscious
He's a
rapper.
legend.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it, right?
Yeah. If we
But not
say
the
old
best.
school conscious rapper was Kingpin, new school cynic.
Yep. Sin the champ
It
takes
works.
it. Yep. He
Tell
gets
me-
my endorsement.
I put this argument to anyone. Tell me an album, Zim Hip Hop album, on a conscious tip, better than Sin City.
The second one that he then dropped with
That's all right. That's all right.
with his, yeah, exactly.
But you know what people need to understand also is why like Zim Hip Hop went through a drought. You know what I mean? When that time that when hip hop was dead, generally even here it was just kind of everything was just on the
Through
low.
brokenness,
You know what I mean?
through
Yeah.
sham.
So you know now that
breaking down,
we back
down.
up, there's a lot more content out there, and you know people are spoiled for choice. Osaka so akuspaka, you know, so takushuona kuti ane mawandi ane, you know.
Mawani. Guess who's back on the top? Mawani.
PK is back.
PK is back,
Yo.
niggas.
Yeah.
PK is back. Shout out to PK.
And he's back with money this time.
Hey, he ain't broke for real.
He ain't broke for
He ain't broke
shit.
for shit.
Yeah, don't ever bring that nigga on this show.
Yeah.
Because
Yo, I'm not gonna go bad at Rega.
gonna
Mochin
bad
just
at
telling
it, you
you
won't be broke no
too
more. That's-
too well
that's
paid in Twimbos.
Too well paid. Too.
Trumbo do time now got broke.
Alright, Take Fizzo, I can't have you on the show without asking you about the Few Kings release.
Yeah.
There's been some positive feedback. There's been some might say negative feedback as well. A lot of people felt that the album got delayed substantially, and
Yeah.
the quality of the project did not justify the delay.
Okay.
And a lot of people were asking, like, for example, why Happy became a Few Kings track, why the My Drinks remix didn't have a new J Brown verse. And I asked you guys about this earlier. I asked Ten about it rather.
Yeah.
He refused to comment. What's your comment?
I can still gonna shout at you. I ain't afraid. Shit. Alright, check it out. Listen. The funny thing is, Kendrick Lamar released "Good Kid, Bad City" when? 3 years ago, right? 2-3 years ago, right?
No, it's a year and a half now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's winning awards this year with that same project. The thing is, like what Tatea is saying, there was a drought, you know. So what we did with Few Kings, if you really look at Happy, isn't Happy Few Kings? Ain't there a beat from Take Fizzo? Don't you hear Ten Diamond? Don't you hear Junior Brown? That's Few Kings, right? Like what happened? What happened is this, Ten Diamond, Junior Brown, Take Fizzo, we were doing our own thing, and we will link up at the studio. You know, I guess that's how MMT was created, right?
No, actually, MMT was meant to be bigger than that, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, get into it. Then,
Yeah.
you know?
All right. So yeah, so we, you know, you do tracks and you just like, whenever the three of us work on something, it's dope, you know. And we're like, all right, let's work on an album. And I'll tell you the honest truth, that album, we weren't even thinking of an album. It was just the streets just gave us the pressure, like, y'all niggas need to be a group. Y'all niggas need to be a group. Y'all niggas need a group. We're getting pressure from management. We're getting pressure from all different places. Like promoters are now saying, nah, we want all three of them. You know, we're not gonna have him. We don't want to have him by himself. We want all three of them. You know what I mean? So, and that happened. And also, you got to realize that Junior Brown's been working on his album. Ten has also been working on his album. This year was supposed to be the year for the albums, but what we did, we pushed it back. All right, and I'll tell you the honest truth right here is the Few Kings project. That was more of a business move. You feel me? Instead of like the art. And as much as it's a crazy ass album, because I know some people have never heard it. That's the funny thing. If you take The Feeling Ain't Fair and you play it for someone who hasn't heard anything, it's like the freshest shit they've heard. So yeah, the release, in terms of release, perfect release at the end of the year. Why would we release an album in June when it's cold? No, it's stupid. So yeah, well. But look out for more. The Few Kings is here to stay. We probably gonna take this next year off to run on our solo grinds, and we're gonna get back in 2015. There might be a movie. Watch out. You never know.
Alright, dope. I think like to respond to that, for me personally, like you know me, we've known each other a while.
Yeah.
I've known Ten a while.
Yeah.
I've known J Brown.
And don't get it twisted. I don't pay him to be out here, guys. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's why I'm broke.
Get your money.
We know the caliber and the quality of content you guys can produce.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just felt on that album it had too many peaks and troughs. Like there was stuff like that was up there,
Yeah.
but it wasn't consistently dope. It almost felt like you guys were stuck in fourth gear and were holding off and hitting that top speed for your solo projects.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that is exactly what happened.
That's exactly what it is.
I'll tell you, putting that project together, from my side of things, it was a bit tricky, because everyone wanted to hold back. There's a lot of songs that you're gonna hear on their solo projects, excluding Dope. Actually, I'm talking Morning Glory, and,
Perfect 10.
and Perfect 10. You're gonna hear some really crazy tunes, and those tunes were supposed to be part of, Few Kings, but you must let people ease into your dopeness. You know what I mean? Like, like with video games.
Zima 8-bit.
Video game, pixels and it quality era ball on, why don't PS3 on? But they had to start with those items, slowly. And I was against it. I wanted to kill the whole industry dead, But yeah, I guess stretching it out is dope.
Yeah.
You'll hear this first mixtape by Fizzo's gonna, it'll give you like
It's an indication.
so you can see you'll listen to the rejects, and then you'll know that Morning Glory and Perfect 10 are definitely albums not to be fucked with. They're just totally insane. They are perfect.
And contrary to that is MMT on the other hand, where we just went all in, it's balls out, namana taupinda, it's we put out a lot of dope material before, like I'm saying, when Zim Hip Hop was a bit on the low, we weren't getting a lot of airplay, nobody was recognizing that. If you listen to a lot of my prior material, a lot of what Mariachi did with Alchemia Blazer Boys, a lot of what Cut did as well, it's like we went hard, back then, but hakuna kwazwakasvika, so MMT coming together was we performed at Greek show, at a radio station stand, and I think it was Mariachi, Nini, Cut, Dogface, and I think that was about it. The rest was just urban grooves, So, that whole urban grooves, Zim Hip Hop type vibe going on. It's like, boys, we have performed, varura, to watch someone left, right, and center, you know what I mean? So we got to a point where backstage, baby, I don't want to pressure, man. We just started talking, yeah, these guys are killing it. Did I say, all right, you and you go to H-Town, you go to Streets of H, Dogface, na Mariachi, get the Streets of H, to Vate Blender, to Vate track, and we got on stage. Did a track. That rock performance, nice. People felt it. Well, just looking at us. But my face, what are they about? But sparkle a little bit. So as we were getting out of this place, because initially we had problems getting in, because Angachiti Hip Hop, whoever's coming.
Was that Power FM?
Yeah.
Yeah, no wonder you had problems.
Yeah.
I ain't afraid of those niggas.
You know what I mean? Because boys, you know what I mean? You coming through this item, I'm not Jack, I'm not going to be able to make it. Takuva, we were like, yo, but you know what I mean? Hip hop got Iruda representation, it is strong. Let's just go weird to say, man, don't go mash it up, don't go varura right now. So a couple of calls were made, reaching out to cats, but a lot of people couldn't come through. Like, Mariachi was with Alchemia on the Blazer Boys, but Alchemia had engagements, Dogface worked with Cut as Cut Face. Dogface had engagements as well. He couldn't make it, and a solo dolo, and I didn't go report. I'm like, yo,
boys
then Wangwano was skeptic. Everyone has their own moves they're trying to make. So this was like, yo, so February, Tatum Studio, wake up, next thing, so wake up just makes a lot of noise. Like, it was just beyond us. Like, did I say? Next track comes up, Zvidhori. Song it's just hitting number ones, and it's like MMT has just been a career peak for us all, you know what I mean? It's like we've had like 4 number ones up to date, you know, like every single that we've put out is just shot up the charts, and TSA, we're just elated by it. We're like, yo, yes, like this is what is done for us. Not like we don't want to have in like individual projects or whatever, but it's working out. So as we were going on, my singles, you know, vibe you know, I mean, mariachi has a certain sound, you know, you can tell kata nigga sound kage nino and nigga flavor, you know what I mean? And we all have like guys that make beats everywhere. Yeah, I got this beat, Matichina boys. Shout out to Nash Lee, by the way, you know, 23. Yeah, so it's also with my beats, I don't go my concept, I don't go like, yo, but yaga. Next thing you know, album and every time, and working with these guys, like for myself, it was like, studio, this is how Wake Up became what it was. It was like, face and quads, you know what I mean? No pinda to drop or something. It's like that. Cut comes through, he drops something else. It was just going up and up and up and up and up and up. And this is how the album came out. It's just, you listen to the next guy's verse as much as, you know, we respect each other, and we like it's also kind of a competition, quads and Opachedu, and we're also trying to kill these other cats. And we got stuff to offer. So that's how the album is so diverse and is so spread out as far as it is. But we still have more content, you know. It's like we got to a point where like, alright, but no, she took on drop in a single, just adjust, you know what I mean? So there's a lot more coming from MMT, but best believe right now it's about that MMT LP.
Dope.
Yeah,
I think you can't deny it, bro. MMT have dropped singles this year, man. They basically run radio.
And shout out to Tatea Da, by the way, because Ichi Chaka, but Zim Dancehall has also been backing us up. You know what I mean? It's like we got into that Vadaroga genre transition. We like, yo, but Zim Dancehall is popping off right now. What did I say? It's not a new thing. It's nothing new under the sun, you know. Dads has been a connector for us for a minute. But went to Cheetown, Critical later, Crazy Beats. To me 1 or 2 items and Zirimoza to Tanga to wine, and you know, Dad's a D voice. No commander respect, you know, then you know, this is what's popping off for MMT right now. And the Ruto Pisa, you can ask Dan over there, he'll tell you, you know. So yeah, shout out to Zim Dancehall as well, and shout out to everybody that's been supporting the MMT movement.
Dan is nodding furiously.
Oh yes, I am indeed. Listen, okay. I got one question that I need. I'm trying to make some money here. Right. I spoke to Metaphysics, one of the pioneers of Zim Hip Hop.
Yeah.
And he says, you know what? My sound when I started doing hip hop was very much like American hip hop, because that's what was there at the time. And as I'm listening now, I like so much that Zimbabwe is developing its own sound. That, you know, MMT or Few Kings or whatever, they can have their own sound of hip hop that's different from America. That's Zimbabwean hip hop. But he went on to say it hasn't yet reached that level where it can be a purely Zimbabwean sound. So far, it's just American hip hop that's maybe done in Shona.
He lies.
And maybe
he lies.
Let me finish.
Yeah,
man.
I'm just saying he lies. Go on.
And maybe uses some local instrumentation, which gives it a Zimbabwean flavor, but it does not yet have its own standalone.
So what does he want us to do? To start creating our own crazy pattern.
Wake up. Are we gonna wake up? But are we gonna wake up with Rome though?
Whoa, guys, whoa. I asked the same questions. I was like,
yeah.
It's like, listen, I think that the direction it's going is perfect. I want everyone to do exactly what they're doing now, because eventually it'll get to a stage where you listen to something and it has its own distinct identity as Zimbabwean. So I want to ask you guys, do you think that the sound is going to get more and more Zimbabwean to an extent that eventually we're going to listen to local hip-hop and compare it to hip-hop from 5 years ago and be like, that's like American? And I'm talking about 5 years ago being now, your current music right now. You think that's going to happen?
Check it out. All right, check it out. Kingpin, yeah? Kingpin, you could easily think that nigga's from the Bronx. Yeah?
Big L.
Listen to Mariachi today. You know my nigga comes from Mandara. So I don't know what no disrespect to the gods.
You know what?
No
But
disrespect to the gods,
isn't it a
but
beat
I don't know what he's
aspect, though?
talking
I mean,
about.
coming from you,
Even the
Fizzo.
beats, even the beats though, even the beats. We're putting beaters, we're putting hoshos, we're even putting we're putting anything which sounds like Zim. You know what I mean? That's what. Shout out to all the hip hop Zim hip hop producers out there, because they just know this good. You know what? It's easy, my nigga. I can make a beat like Kanye, probably make it better, but it don't shine for. What do? I'll remove that sample of that trademark Kanye sample, and I'll put our Mbira Zenarira. That's Zim.
Yeah.
You can't get any more Zim hip hop. If you take off the hip hop in that, you're now Mbira only.
In response to your question, Dan, I just want you to go back to Metaphysics and ask him what he has been doing all these years
for a Zimbabwean sound.
For the Zimbabwean sound. You get what I'm saying? Apana. These legends.
He's a god. He's a legend.
But what has he been doing?
I was
What has he been doing?
I was still scripting rhymes in my homework, my English homework book, while he was kicking it. No doubt. No disrespect.
And look, this dude we're talking about here. This dude we're talking about here has got #1s in Germany.
This is what he says. He says it's late for me. When hip hop started off in Zim, all we could do was emulate the States. But since then, it's slowly becoming more Zimbabwean. And I was like, listen.
Look.
So you said you're gonna take a Kanye beat, take out the sample, and put in the Mbira. Why don't you build it from the ground up so that it doesn't look like
It's not hip hop
Kanye
anymore.
It's not hip hop anymore.
It's no longer hip hop. It's now Zimbabwean Afro something.
You know,
because hip hop. You won't be hip hop if you can't nod your head like this, right? It's not hip hop.
Inini kuti ndizoziti the H-Town King. It came down to there being a void in hip hop. You know, whereas there's a time where it was thriving. Boys that decided go, but boys that decided okay, I'm going to Germany, I'm going to Gland, I'm going to Kupi. Who is rapping Zim? You know what I mean?
#1 Germany.
Apana.
Be listening to him. You know, we can't. We respect him. We say shout out to our boys out there, but nah, man.
The Zim flag.
Yo,
but can I
shout out to your boys Sumuka as it is. Sound
perfect example. If Dan was here, Indo perfect example. Tiri sound is Zimbabwe. You see, after Dan said, unza matarita boys after that, Iowa inza isusuka. You know, like nah, my nigga. Iowa out here. No, man. I swear, Zim hip hop is so authentic. I don't know. I don't want people to think, Shaman.
Oh, you listen to Zirwitwa no fun. And also, you know, it's learning, you know what I mean? Ana meta vaka vaya ka. Ava not see a blueprint utai ora iti mnozo sara mshida iso.
Ora what is here?
Zogo kuma holiday shi very na jails. But otherwise, on the real, there's nothing that we've learned from those dudes. There's nothing that we've learned from them.
What Saga Isusu sound yakuitika manje you find kuti Fizzo been in the game for a minute doing this aruita. Vana young Nash and Gashterera runs gonna text and Fizzo and then I'll put a banganga. Zvidhori but
and listeners of this podcast, please, we're not disregarding metaphysics.
Oh, he's a god. Shout out to the
god. He cannot have that much of an influence on what we do because he's been doing it in Germany. So he can influence in Germany, but not here. Kuno kind of my feature through Mdara.
Chingoda chizita pa
but fair. Really? Nah.
Right. And I think on that note,
you should make the three of us your co-hosts.
It's like this though, Phil. To be honest,
What a stance, yeah.
To be very honest.
Peep the stance.
I'm a freaking. I'm of Kenyan descent. I did it, but I do what's supposed to be done in Zim. I did it. That dude is of Zimbabwean German descent, isn't it? Mm-hmm. He went to Germany. He chose to do Germany. He could have done it here. He could have done everything he was doing here. Same with me. I could choose. I could choose to go back to Kenya and go do it in Kenya, but I'm here, and I have to do what works where. Here. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's a different scenario, man. It's a totally different scenario.
Tate,
Yeah, man.
when you go on stage and you're performing, what do people do? What do Zimbabweans do?
Go crazy.
Right, Saka, that's Zimbabwean. With that, Phil, my name is Take Fizzo, the
We gotta
dope
go
man.
to a wedding. And
Gotta go
some
to a
free
couple of
food.
weddings.
No, man.
Yo, man, thank you for having out.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
This was a long ass interview, man. This was a dope ass.
Yeah, we
interview.
gotta do this again.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Tatu ndachaichekutaura manje macommentator
Vision.
maopinions edu.
Okay. No, definitely.
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
Both moments yeah, the dope album is coming on Monday the 9th, but at the end of the day, I don't got to spark on it.
Yeah, get that dope. Get that MMT.
LP.
King.
Yeah.
Good looking out. Tatea.
This the
Thanks
T
a lot,
in
bro.
MMT. It's that MMT music by
Right,
Zim Hip Hop.
man.
Please support MF fans. It's all what it's about. Got to support on it. Shit. Bottom
Right.
line.
One.
Yeah, what?
100.
Dope.
Stacks.
Yo.
We done told you Two Broke Twimbos brings the heat. That was a pretty dope interview.
That was real. It was real.
It was real, and the heat turned up a bit towards the end of that interview. Shout out to MMT and shout out to a few kings. Namely, shout out to Tatea Da MC. Shout out to Take Fizzo and King Ngugi was also in the studio. Amar Brown played a Cameo in the beginning as well, so that was dope.
Yeah. I don't know why you had to ask that question, bruh. Now we've got a Germany-Zimbabwe beef in the works.
Nah, it ain't beef. You know what I mean? It's the veterans versus the newbies. You know what I mean? Well, can't really call Take Fizzo a newbie, can you? Okay, it's the veterans versus the slightly younger veterans. Okay, I don't know why I asked it.
Dumbass. Anyway, yeah, that was actually pretty disappointing. But I hate it when adults act like adults. I was really expecting to see some blows, bruh.
Yep. And it was burning under these bulletproof vests, I gotta say. Which, by the way, we have to give back because we couldn't afford to buy them or rent them. Pretty much just taking them without telling anyone.
You told me you got them, you dumbass.
It's a hard life. It's a hard life. This is Two Broke Twimbos, man. Remember what you gotta do. You gotta subscribe. You gotta follow. Find us on Twitter, Danny That Guy, and Phil Chard. Search for Two Broke Twimbos on the internet. Go to twobroketwimbos.com. That's number 2 Broke Twimbos.
And before we continue, if anyone adds me with another pilchard joke, I will shove that can up your...
On that note, this is Two Broke Twimbos.